What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. So I hope that everyone's enjoying their weekend and yeah, so you guys seems to be enjoying the video that I made talking about my failure in Pokemon collecting or Pokemon investing, actually, to be more honest. And I actually want to share a lot more of these kind of videos to talk about some less, I wouldn't exactly say it's a fail, but it's something that was out of my expectation, something that is out of my expectation in a negative way for now. And I want to tell you and share with you some of the rationale in which why I purchased some of these products at that time. But before we go into that video, remember to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And you know, I've been messaged about Patreon. Some people have messaged me about Patreon regarding the tax that Patreon actually charges for a lot of the products. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create another website in parallel to Patreon. So if you want and feel like Patreon is a safer way, you guys can support me through Patreon and get your mystery package. If not, I mean, if you just trust me, and you can go on to my other website, collectpokemon.net, and we have some membership plans there that are exactly the same as the Patreon one. Like, you get the exact same thing. But that one I don't think will charge you tax. The only difference is that on the website one, it will charge you at the time of your sign up. So for example, if you sign up anytime within the July period, you get the August package. Whenever you sign up in the August period, you get the September package. So I think, you know, that should sort out any sort of confusion. So if your payment is processed by, you know, July 31st, you will get your August shipment shipped out to you by August like 2nd or something along that line. So I hope that will solve a lot of the issues with regards to a lot of taxation. I know that a lot of European countries charges tax even if you want to support a Patreon. So yeah, let's get that sorted out. So if you have any question, feel free to email me, collectpokemon2@gmail.com with regards to that. All right, so let's get back to this video. What I had in mind was that, now I'm just going to show you. This card was one of my most unexpected failure card. Well, why would I say it's a failure card? It's a beautiful card. It's a very unique card. It's a Charizard card. It's a PSA 10 graded card. So initially, these cards are often released in the Pokemon Center promos, and you know, for the longest time being, Pokemon Center promo has always done really well. Usually they don't do a lot of reprints, and usually it's just 1 or 2 print run and that's it. Except for the case of a Red's Pikachu that was actually released 2 or 3 years ago, which was a full art Pikachu card with Red, and then, you know, they're all on the profile side of the face. The Pikachu was running away, and Red was also running. So that card was the only card that was from the Pokemon Center that was printed to the ground. It's to a point where, you know, no one actually wants that card anymore. You're gonna ask, hey, Collect Pokemon, if you've experienced that before, why would I go stupidly go and buy a bunch of these? I bought around 120 to 150 of these, thinking that it will be a short to mid-term profit-making tool. Apparently, it didn't turn out that way. And the rationale why I bought this, thinking that, hey, I've got nothing to lose, because Red's Pikachu at the current price is actually doing quite well. Most of the time, at the lowest price, the Red's Pikachu was around $4 US dollar a piece. And now I think they're going for like, what, 30, 40, 50? Something along that line. And the PSA 10 graded one can also go up to like $250 to $300. So with that kind of logic, with that kind of mindset in mind, back then I did buy a lot of Red Pikachu. I got around 20 to 30, I think, something along that line. With that logic in mind, I was thinking, what kind of things should I buy? Should I buy the Illustrated Charizard? How many of them should I buy? There were a lot of listings with like 100 pieces or 50 pieces. So, you know, I went for the go big or go home kind of mentality. So I went for the big one. I went for the 100 pieces one, because your per piece, it was around, I think, $9, $10 each, something along that line. So I went that route and bought a bunch of them in. Now, around 20% of those were not so minty. They were, even though they said it's mint, we can see like white speck or, you know, white dots at the back. So I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, I'll hit a 20% loss. That's okay. Now the other 80 cards or 80% of the cards seems fine. I mean, they tend to be able to PSA grade it at 10. So I sent some in to grade and it came back, many of them being 10. So, you know, that was good. But the problem is that the price has not moved up to a point where I'm happy with my investment. I mean, yeah, I did make some money, but the grading fee is also expensive. So, you know, minusing the grading fee, I might have profited most likely if I was to sell a PSA 10, $50, maybe $50. But, you know, with the time it takes to grade, that's you know, crazy as well. So the return is a little lower than what I expected, even in this kind of bull market, or when it was a bull market. So the lesson to talk about here is about reprints. We understand that reprints can be bad, it can affect our investment, but the question is, how do we minimize the risk? A lot of the time, you know, a lot of people will think that Japanese promo cards are immune to reprints, but they're actually not. A lot of the Pokemon Center cards that if you buy a bunch of packs and they give you a card, a lot of them actually can get reprinted. And because of that, I think that, you know, with this Charizard, there were like the second wave, third wave, fourth wave. And, you know, it just flooded the market. No one really wants this card anymore. And so that's why this card is a little bit of a failure investment. And you're gonna ask, hey, collect Pokemon. You said that the Red's Pikachu went back up in price. Would this go up in price? Well, yes, but not to the extent of the Red's Pikachu, I think, because the Red's Pikachu at the end of the day is still a foil full art card. This one is a normal bulk white card. I mean, yeah, you can argue it's a Charizard compared to a Pikachu, but I think that the full art card actually captures people's eyes a lot better than this regular non-foil card. So I think that in the long run, it will have room to grow back, but not as quick or not as strong as the Red's Pikachu. So that's what I think about that card. Now, going forward, how will I change, or what have I learned in order to invest better in the future? Well, first of all, don't buy 100 lots. I mean, it's really silly and it's very speculative, especially for promotional cards that can be reprinted anytime. I mean, sealed products, unless you really have the capital, I wouldn't even buy hundreds of copies. But only that you're very certain of a product to go up in price, then you buy a large quantity of it. Because chances are the larger quantity you buy, the less careful you are in selecting the quality of the card. I mean, back then I just bought 100 in lots, and you know, I saw some white dots. You know, what am I going to do? Am I just going to refund and ask for a refund or something like that for those few cards? It's actually very difficult. So but if you just buy one or two, maybe you can ask for a refund. You can tell the seller to show you more pictures, you know, these sort of stuff. So buying it in lots does have its risk. And I think that going forward, what I will be very, very cautious of is to buy things in hundreds or 200s, you know, because I feel it's going to be very difficult to liquidate later on. For example, if I own 100 of these PSA 10 cards, you know, I have to wait a very long time. I can't dump it out into the market because it will crash the market right away. So that's the downside. I think that's the beauty about investing in Pokemon, is always to find that balance between the quality and the quantity of the card. There are cards with very high price, and then basically it's very not liquid. It's hard to liquidate it. But at the same time, on the other end, the very cheap cards, if you buy a lot of them, it is equally difficult to liquidate those cards because, you know, you can't simply just flood the market with it. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, hey, collect Pokemon, this might not be a failure. Well, to be honest, it might not be. At least I'm not losing money from these, but eventually, will they actually profit? Will they have a decent profit? Chances are it will. Chances are it will. But the question is just how long. If I spend that money, if I spend the money that I bought these 100, like 100 and 200-ish kind of Charizard on, I could have spent it on other things. I could have spent it on the black box in the Japanese set. The profit, the rate of return has gone up much more significantly than these. And I don't even have to do anything to inspect the cards, to send it to grade, and the grading cost, the grading fee, the grading time. I should just buy $2, let it sit, and wait for it to go up in price. So yeah, it's all about opportunity cost. And I think that in terms of this one, in my eyes, it's still considered to be a failed investment because it did not reach my investing target. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Remember, the new website should be set up when this video is released. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe, peace. This is Collect Pokemon. Bye-bye.